boys and girls. How are you guys doing? I am super duper excited, guys. I get to hang out once again with Jadesola James, boys and girls. Oh my goodness. Her latest release, the royal baby he must claim. So Jadesola is hanging out with us, guys, here at the cafe. And we're gonna talk about her latest release, guys. I'm super duper excited to be here with you, Jadesola. Hey, welcome back to the cafe.
Thank you for having me back. I'm
Yes.
super excited to be here.
Awesome. Well,
Um,
I'm excited as well. Oh my goodness. And so, Jadesola, please share with us, for those who may not be familiar with your books or what have you, introduce yourself.
Absolutely. So I write for Harlequin Books, specifically Harlequin Presents. I was a huge fan of Presents growing up, so this is like a dream come true for me. And for those who aren't familiar with the line, Harlequin Presents are very high drama, high passion, high stakes, lots of action. And it also employs what the publisher likes to call armchair travel, which is just like a really exciting opportunity to see different countries, different
Yes.
cities, different cultures, really like um, posh and plush and beautiful and exotic places. So that makes it even more fun to write.
I
And
love it. Look, and speaking of that, okay, Jadesola, uh,
mhm.
this cover. Oh my goodness, I love it. It's just like amazing. Look, and even though she got her little baby bump, she is a gorgeous, rocking the braids. Oh my goodness, I love this cover. Tell us a little bit about this cover.
Absolutely. So, first of all, I was very jealous because I've never looked that good pregnant in my life. Never. Um, been pregnant a few times and never happened like that, unfortunately. But I really have to hand it to Harlequin, like at the moment, especially Harlequin Presents. So during the writing process, we get what's called an art fact sheet,
Uh
and we
huh.
have to outline like who we think our characters look like, what we think
Okay.
they look like, what they're wearing, what their hair looks like, and they do their best to try and match that up with models that fit the description, and they put
Okay.
those models right on the cover. So for this particular book, what I had in mind was a model who actually is a soap opera star.
Oh.
He's on, yeah, he's on a soap opera, and he's also Nigerian American, very great, very good actor, and an actress who is from the Nigerian version of Hollywood, which is Nollywood. She's like one of the,
Okay.
she's a very famous like Nigerian socialite actress. So those were the pictures I submitted, and they actually came really close with both models, and they
That
just
is
look
super
so good together.
cool.
They look so good together. She's holding also a Peacock fan,
I
which is
noticed that.
very, yes. So for
Guys, I
Nigerian,
don't know if you can see it, but guys, if
yep,
you have the cover, yes, it's like this peacock fan that's like her, that's gorgeous. Her
yes,
dress with the little slit. Oh my goodness, her jewels. I love this cover. It's just gorgeous.
they did really well. They did really well, and it's like it's a big part of like the traditional bridal set. You know, when you're dressed up in your traditional wear and with the fabric and jewelry and everything. Like you carry this really big, elaborate fan, like in very fashionable modern weddings
Yeah.
nowadays. There, so she does carry one in the book. So the fact that they
Okay.
included it
Now,
on the
Jonathan,
cover was
what
something
was
really
your
cool to me.
impression when you first saw this cover? Like after you had sent them everything, when you first saw it, what was your reaction?
I honestly wanted to cry because you
Oh,
know what? I feel like for someone who's read Harlequin Presents for so many years, a
uh-huh.
cover like that to me was just years and years and years in the making. You know, it's something
Yes.
that I didn't get when I was a teenager, when I was a young adult, and I was reading them then. And to see them now, um, Maya Blake also has a wonderful, wonderful title that I just read. and her cover is like equally gorgeous.
Yeah, is that the
It's
one where that she has on like the kente
yes.
style cloth
She has a
head
kente
wrap?
head tie.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
And it's Ghana's Most Eligible Billionaires. That's the series, and it's just the book is beautiful. I mean, if you read Maya Blake, you know her books are beautiful already, but
yes.
just having that cover and then having this gorgeous, lush, passionate story like within the pages just makes
Yes,
it even
it's
better.
just amazing when you put the two. That what a combination as well, guys. If you're just joining us, I'm hanging out with the one and only Jadesola James, guys. This is her latest Harlequin Presents release, The Royal Baby He Must Claim. And guys, we have been talking about this gorgeous cover as well, guys. Like, tag, and share. Let them know that Jadesola is hanging out with us at the cafe. And so, Jadesola, I want you to share a little bit with us about this particular story. What inspired this story with these African princes? It's two because it's her and her
Mhm.
sister, but this
Yes.
is it Kimi? Am I pronouncing her name right?
Yes.
Kimi is this
Mhm.
is Kimi's
Mhm.
story, guys. Kimi and Luke. Okay, and so what inspired this story? Because if I'm not mistaken, is this going to be a two-book series? One is Kimi. We're going to talk about her sister Toby in a minute, and one is Toby. But what inspired Kimi and Luke's story?
So, I really had a desire to write a story that not only featured Nigerian characters, but um, featured the country as well. So, this isn't a spoiler to say this. The book does take place in Nigeria, in Abuja specifically, which is the capital, which is, it's a really beautiful, planned city with a really happening nightlife and, nice restaurants and I wanted to include a lot of the food and the culture and a little bit of the nightlife. And
Yes,
also the Seychelles, which is a completely different African country. It's this just gorgeous honeymoon destination, really. And our hero has an estate there as well. Part of the whole presents experience is being whisked away to some, locale where
yeah,
you fall in love. So I wanted to do that. But I wanted to do that without leaving Africa at all. Africa is a beautiful place, has so many beautiful countries, and each country just has such, it has its own vibe. It has its own food. It has its own cultures. It has its own things that are specific about it. So I really wanted to show the sights, the smell, the taste, and it's all down to the little details. Like, when you're in Abuja, you go to an open bar. Okay, you're hearing this kind of music. You're
yeah,
smelling the wood smoke, and you're tasting like the grilled meat, and then you go to the Seychelles, and then you're on a beach where the sand is so fine and so powdery. It's like, walking on Johnson's baby
yes,
powder, and it's just
yes,
white and clean, and the sky just stretches on for eons. So just capturing those little details and
yeah.
featuring it in the narrative was just so important to me. So that
I love, and
hopefully,
you did that. You nailed that in this book, guys. If you're just joining us, hanging out with Jalasala James, guys, her latest release, "The Royal Baby He Must Claim," and I love how you can actually feel like you was there. Like I love this scene. This is kind of towards the beginning, boys and girls, where they're in the nightclub and Kima is dancing, and you can literally feel Luke like watching her and being just in tune with her movements and all this stuff and just describing her. I loved it as well too. So thank you so much for the descriptions and making us feel like we was taking a trip with them as well. And so we got to get into these characters a little bit. Of course, guys, if you are just joining us, you heard me talk about Luke. He is the hero in this particular story, and you heard me talk about Kima. But um, if you had to describe Luke in 3 words, and if you need to add a few more, that's fine too. But how would you describe him? Because for those who may not have read the book or what have you, he kind of went through some things that kind of caused him to be kind of like, closed in and not really open to people and things of that nature too. But how would you describe him?
Aside from all the angst, he's got plenty of angst. Like, presents heroes, they have to have their angst.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think he also feels, I would say his defining characteristic is a need to keep people safe. Um,
Yes.
he's a security mogul. That's like his background. That's what made him a billionaire. Just
Yes.
developing security programs for people, and he's especially concerned with the safety of women. And
Mm-hmm.
women's safety is a huge like topic and issue
Uh-huh.
just within the continent of Africa and especially in Nigeria itself. So I wanted to feature something that was like a real life issue, within the continent.
Uh-huh.
So you have him, he designs these security systems, and when he meets Kemi, I'm not going to spoil it, but she's gone through a traumatic experience, and his
Yeah.
first instinct is one of protectiveness. He really
Mm-hmm.
wants to keep her safe. So I think that's part of the spark on which their attraction is built. So if you were to ask me about him, I would say that's his defining characteristic.
I
And
love that.
yeah, yeah.
And of course, you got to tell us a little bit about Kimi. You share with him just a little bit, y'all. She's kind of gone through some things that have caused her to be the way that she is now, and she often feels like because of what. And I'm not gonna spoil it because I get you guys got to read the book, but it causes her to even to feel like the protection that they have that she not only is she suffering from it, but her sister is as
Absolutely.
well, from what she feel like is like, just one bad decision, one mistake or what have you. And now they're kind of like paying for it, or what have you. But tell us a little bit about Kimi.
I she was delightfully complex to me. Um,
Yes, I would agree.
because I started out writing a character who'd been through something traumatic and feels guilty about it. That was kind of like her baseline. That was where I started from. But as you write, the characters become more complex, and the layers just kind of get peeled back. And she's a lot of other things too. She's a sister. She's an older sister, and if
Yeah.
any of you are older siblings, you know how that goes.
Mhm.
And she's very protective of her younger sister.
Yeah.
She feels guilty because what's happened to her in the past has affected both of them negatively.
Yeah.
And also, really curiously, and this is what surprised me the most as I wrote, she's very optimistic.
Yes.
She's ready to love. She's ready to be loved,
Yeah.
and there's just a real sense of empathy there for Luke and what he's gone through that surprised me. You have some heroines or heroes or what have you who are so preoccupied with what's happened to them in the past
Uh-huh.
that they fold inward.
Yeah.
Kemi's kind of the opposite. She kind of like
Yeah.
folds outward, and whether Luke finally accepts that a lot or not
Yeah.
is to be seen. You have to
Yeah.
read the book. But it was just a
and
really
and I love the
interesting
fact of
dynamic.
how just how she unfolds of finding her voice and
Hmm.
finding her freedom is amazing as well. And of course, Jadesola, before you read us a snippet, we got to talk about Toby. Oh my goodness, Toby is guys larger than life. She likes to have fun, in spite of all the restraints. She's gonna take it there.
Oh,
So tell
yes.
us a little bit about her.
Toby stresses her big sister out. She is so okay. I can tell you this. The story is based on the fairy tale, The 12 Dancing Princesses.
Okay.
And in The 12 Dancing Princesses, you have a very strict father who's a king who keeps his daughters under lock and key. But every night they sneak out and they go and they dance till dawn. So that's kind of where the story jumps off.
Yeah.
You've got two sisters who are sneaking out to dance till dawn, and Toby is a perpetrator of the
Yes.
sneaking out. So she's a few years younger, and she's just full of this spark and this life that just can't be contained. Like,
Right.
Kemi is very accepting of the fate that has been handed to her. Toby's the opposite. She's like,
Right.
I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna have fun, I'm gonna look pretty, I'm gonna dress up, I'm gonna live my life. So you have a very sisterly dynamic there with her, pulling and shoving her sister out the door and making her buy drinks and making her
Yes,
dance. So they just have a really fun dynamic.
I
And
love
in
that.
Toby's story, which comes out in July this summer, she actually marries a prince who becomes a king. So that book is called The Princess He Must Marry, and that's the companion to the royal baby he must claim. So,
Yes.
yeah, she puts her husband through it. So that's a fun one to read as well.
I love that. Look, and speaking of characters, and of course, guys, you got her father, all this good stuff. Which character, and it could be more than one,
Mhm.
was the most fun to write, and which one was like the most interesting that at some points in the story they kind of gave you pause for a moment?
Toby was definitely the most fun to write, but by far, by far. And Luke has a friend that makes like a little cameo in the beginning. Who knows? Maybe he'll get his own book eventually.
Oh,
And he was a lot
okay.
of it, and he was a lot of fun to write as well.
I
Um,
know, yeah, he
but
was, yeah, he had personality as
he
well.
did, he did. He surprised me. I was like, all right, like, you need to exit stage left. We can't have you taking over. 'Cause the books are short. We don't have time
Right,
to.
right.
So I hope we see him again at some point.
Oh,
I don't
gosh,
know.
she's
We never
spilling
know.
a little bit of tea there. Okay, so if you're just joining us, hanging out with Jadesola James, guys, she's kind of dropped some little tea. There, she told us a little bit about Toby's story, which is coming in July. She told us if you haven't read the book, guys, there's this character that we might see him pop up somewhere
Maybe we
else
don't know.
as
We
well.
don't know.
So I
Maybe
love that.
in a future
Now,
book we'll
Jadesola,
get.
do you have a little snippet that you can share with the readers on today?
Absolutely. So let me open it up.
And guys,
And
while Donna Sala is pulling that up, this is the royal baby. He must claim, guys. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited about this book. Basically, this is book one. In this particular series, it is Kimi and Luke's story. This is the lovely cover as well. And Donna Sala is going to share with us just a little snippet, just enough to wet your whistle.
so, one of my favorite scenes to write, just because I got to really play around with setting, was when they actually go out and explore the Seychelles. So this happens towards
Okay.
middle-ish towards the book. Um, and they go hiking on the beach. So I'm just gonna turn to it now. Okay. They took a long ride through the winding roads that snaked around the island, and the rises and falls of the hills and sharp corners made Kemi's heart leap to her throat. The Seychelles possessed a sort of tempered beauty with a wildness beneath it that manifested in the steep rocks, in the heavy trees, and in the brightness of the sun. The island itself was relaxed, slow moving, a place for indulgence, for pleasure. She knew that somewhere through these roads there must be ordinary people, people going to work and coming home and falling in love and raising their families. But she did not see any of these things in these moments with Luke. He seemed determined to make her first official outing in the Seychelles one of unparalleled glamour. First, they went to the beach, a massive stretch of sun bleached white and blue, flanked by a massive resort where they needed passes to enter. It wasn't until Kemi remarked on the lack of people, even on that gorgeous day, that Luke admitted he'd arranged for them to have the whole place to themselves. That must have cost you a fortune, Kemi exclaimed. No, not really, Luke said. People rent these beaches for private parties all the time. We're just making a very small one. They waved goodbye to the bus and watched till it was swallowed by the dust of the road. Luke then produced a stout pair of hiking shoes for Kemi and slipped on a pair of his own. The hike is a little bit difficult, Luke said, eyeing her Pleated palazzo pants, dubiously. Are you going to be able to do it? I thought it was a good idea, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'll be fine, Kemi said with a smile. There's a helicopter to fly us back once we are done. It would be no trouble to call it now. And I'll just end there. So,
Okay,
kind of
guys,
the
a
start of the
helicopter
book.
ride back. Okay. I love it. Oh my goodness, guys. Jadesola James just shared with us a little bit from the Royal Baby. He must acclaim, guys. It is definitely a must read as well. And so, Jadesola, I want you to kind of tell us a little bit about. We're gonna talk a little bit about you. Okay, we're gonna get back to the book. We're gonna
Sure.
talk about a little bit about you or what have you. So, Jadesola, when I say cake and tea, what comes to mind? Tell us about that, my friend. What is your thing with cake and tea?
I love both. They pair together. They have to. Some people are cake and champagne, some people are cake and ice cream. I'm cake and tea. So
Yeah, I love that, guys. So if you think about gifts for Jadesola, she likes cake and tea. Okay, cake and tea.
I
I
do.
love
I
that. I
do.
love that.
I do.
Okay,
Specifically,
now.
red velvet is a favorite. I
Oh,
was raised I was raised in the American South. We do it right down there. So, red velvet cake, yes, with the cream
okay.
cheese frosting, some
Oh,
walnuts.
oh.
Some people get creative. They put pecans in the mix,
Okay,
but I would
okay,
say
we
that's my
got it. Red
favorite
velvet
part.
tea. Now, any specialty tea that you like, or
Really, no, just a regular black tea, whether cold or hot. If it's hot, it's gotta have milk and sugar. If it's cold, it's
oh,
gotta be sweet, sweet, sweet. Like make your teeth hurt sweet. But otherwise,
okay. I love that. I love that. Okay. And Jadesola, I found out, heard, I heard it through the grapevine. I heard it through the grapevine that you like collecting vintage romance books. Tell us
I
about
do.
that.
I do. So, I usually buy them up on eBay or on Amazon, just
Okay.
used sellers. And these are books generally that my collection ranges from books from the 60s all the way up to the 90s.
Oh,
So
wow.
I do have a lot of books from Harlequin, from the Kamani line. I have a ton of old school Harlequin Presents. And the
Oh,
cool thing about them
wow.
is that some of the authors that were writing in the 80s or as far back as
Yeah.
as the 70s even are still writing now. So
Wow.
it's just such a privilege to see their career sort of from the
Yeah.
beginning and then know that I'm still kind of in cohorts with them now. There's nothing
Wow.
makes me more
That
excited.
is amazing. And that was so intriguing to me. I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta find out more about her vintage romance book collection. And speaking of that, would you say that the romance genre, it found you or you found it? What would you say to that?
Oh, good. That's a really good question. Um, I would say a little bit of both.
Okay.
So I had an aunt, well, not had, she's still alive. I have an aunt who, when I was young, she owned a bookstore
Okay.
in Nigeria, and she used to bring me like piles of books whenever she went to book fairs in the States.
Uh-huh.
So she would like fly to Atlanta, attend book fairs, and then just bring me back like sample titles. So I
Oh
got a
wow.
ton of books that way. A lot of books from the Love Inspired line, a lot of books from the Harlequin historical line. She would bring back
Wow.
tons of them, and she'd stock her bookstore with them later. So I got all the samples.
I
And
love that.
then, as I grew older, when I was 14, I got a job in my local library, and it was at that a place where I sort of fell upon every romance novel in the place. So I
Yeah.
read them all. I read them all from the historicals to the contemporaries to the young adult ones. They were all there, and I just ate them up. I love the happy ending. I love the optimism a romance story gives you. And it's no matter the heat level. whether you like them spicy or,
Hmm.
you like them sweeter. Um, they just have this sense of not only optimism, but just like faith and the healing power of love that I just
Yeah.
find really inspiring and really comforting. So I think that's why I kind of keep going back to the genre because no matter whether you're talking about mythological creatures or some high power attorney in the big city or a small town Gilmore Girls type
Yeah.
thing, they all have that undercurrent, that thread running through them. And that's something that's really comforting and just really desirable, especially in this day and time,
Wow.
when you want to look for anything
Yeah.
like that gives you that feeling. And
Wow. I
romance
love that. Thank
writers
you so much
are,
for sharing
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted, like I said, I imagined or I wanted to know that because I was like, you know what? Okay, she has this love for vintage romance books and what have you. So yeah, I want to know kind of what came first. So definitely thank you for sharing that with us. And now, of course, Jadesola,
Absolutely.
you know we got to play around on this or that, my friend. And this is kind of a mixture. It's going to be some royalty in there. It's going to kind of be some romance in there. All that good stuff. Are you ready, my friend?
I am ready. Go for it.
Okay, so this or that. Now, if this is kind of on the royalty side, okay.
Okay.
Are you would you marry for the monarch or would you marry for love?
Oh man. See, I would
And there's
marry
no
for
right or
love.
wrong answer. It's all things
I,
according to John Sala. So what you say?
I would definitely marry for love, but I love royal romances.
I know, me
So
too.
if I could combine the two somehow, that would make me very happy.
Okay. Okay. If you could have your pick of the royal jewels or your
Ooh.
wardrobe designed by the finest dressmaker, what would you pick?
I would say the royal jewels
Okay.
because royal jewels, they're priceless, they're historical, they're one of a kind. Whereas
Yes.
if you are a royal who has royal jewels to wear, all the designers in the world want to dress you anyway. So, I feel like I'd have both.
I love that. I love that. Okay. If you had your choice, date night, okay, an early bird date or a night owl date?
Oh, night owl for sure. You don't want to deal with me early in the morning. No, no. I want to show my best side.
Okay. Look, and sticking to dates, okay, a brunch picnic date or an early evening at a nice bar?
Nice bar for sure.
Okay.
But I like picnics, but I don't like bugs. Again, it's showing your
I wish
best
that
side.
I don't like creepy crawly things.
I don't. I
And
don't.
depending on the weather, I don't like to be too hot.
Same. Same.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm
I
I'm
like
a
the idea of a picnic. And
exactly.
now they have these indoor picnics
Yes.
that you can do.
Yep. I was just gonna say, and I was gonna say, okay, Southern upbringing coming back to, I love me a covered porch. You
Oh,
know, just like that feeling you're outside without actually dealing with
yeah.
the swarms of whatever is coming. And a covered porch in early spring or in
Oh,
very late summer when it's not too hot, when it's not too muggy,
yes.
and you take your time and you have your that's lovely.
And Dollar
That's
Solid, a good book is gonna be somewhere handy, nice glass of tea or all that. Yeah, we're gonna have the works, okay? We're gonna work
yes,
this out, this situation
yes.
out. Okay, how about this one? A romantic candle dinner or at home or a romantic dinner at a fancy restaurant.
I would say a fancy restaurant just because we've all been at home for the past couple of years and I think we're all ready to get out. Even the introverts like me, we're ready to get out. Um but I hope the restaurant has candlelight because I love
Okay,
candlelight
there you go.
and it's immensely flattering. You want that type of lighting on a date. So,
Yes, yes.
yes.
I love it. Okay, now Dollar Solid, we got to ask this one. Are you team tea, my friend, or are you team coffee?
Team T, always,
Team T.
always,
I love it.
always.
Team T for tonight. Oh my goodness. Jadesola, this has been like amazing hanging out with you. Thank you for our round of this or that, all things according to Jadesola James, guys, as well. And of course, boys and girls, you know Jadesola have a giveaway for you.
We
Jadesola, can you
do.
share with us what the giveaway for tonight's going to be?
So the giveaway so in July I am going to send you a copy of a copy of the book as well as a pair of kente earrings. So if you so you'll just have to let me know if you want them pierced or unpierced. So just let me know.
Okay,
And
guys,
you'll
talk
receive both
about
of
a
them on
giveaway.
release by
Okay, you're
release
gonna get
day.
a copy of the book and you're gonna get some earrings, your choice of pierced or clip-on, or what have you. Oh my goodness, I'm super. Can I win? I'm super excited about that. Jalasala, of course, you know how we do it here. I'm gonna tell you when to stop. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna go up and down the comment section. You're gonna tell me when to stop, and that person, oh my
Okay.
goodness, will be a winner of the book and these beautiful kente earrings. Okay, are you ready?
Absolutely.
All righty, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, whenever you tell me to stop.
Stop.
Mama Tony, you are the winner. You will get a copy. And John, is this going to be a copy of this book or the other book? Which book? Okay,
It will
so
be a
Mama
copy of
Tony, you
that
will
book
get a
too.
copy of the Royal Baby He Must Claim. In addition to these beautiful Kenta earrings, when you inbox me your address, also let me know if you need pierced or clip-ons, and I will definitely get your information, your address to Jalasala as well. So thank you so much. Congratulations, Mama Tony. I'm excited for you. Oh my goodness.
Congratulations.
And Jalasala, you know you got to tell us, how can they get their hands on a copy of the Royal Baby He Must Claim?
So they are sold pretty much wherever books are sold. They're at Walmart right now, also in person at Barnes and Noble. You can also get them online, Amazon.com, Harlequin.com. You can get them on Glows, which is the Harlequin app, and Barnes and Noble online, pretty much wherever books are sold.
I love that, guys. Pretty much where books are sold, and boys and girls, is available in print copy as well as ebook copy as
Yes.
well. So whatever suits your fancy there, definitely go out and grab you a copy. And like Jalasala said, book 2 is coming out, which is her sister story. Toby is coming out in July as well. So look forward to that. And then Jalasala, how can they stay connected with you, my friend?
Absolutely. So I am on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter as well, and I am on Facebook. So please feel free to reach out in any of those places. Inbox me, send me a message, send me an email. I love hearing from readers. And thank you all for coming to the cafe. I really enjoyed my time here tonight.
I love that. I love that. You heard that, guys. Go follow Jalasala on social media. And Jalasala, do you have a newsletter that they can sign up for as well on your website?
I don't right now, but
Okay.
I'll keep an eye out. I will by this summer. So I will by
Okay.
July 1st. So just keep
Gotcha.
an
And
eye
then
out
are there
for it.
any books
And
on your website too where they can go to your backlist on your website?
yes, yep, it's all
Okay.
there.
So, guys,
Hmm.
check out her website as well. You can find her backlist. Of course, you can go to the Harlequin website. You can go to Amazon, all those places, and find her books as well. Definitely support her, guys. If you have not started following her, follow her as well. And of course, Jalasala, I'm going to allow you to have the last words. Is there any lasting words you want to say to our guest on today?
Just thank you so much for reading. If you're a Presents fan already, it's such a fantastic line. Some of my fellow authors are just doing so many wonderful things with plot and with character right now. And if you're not familiar with the line, I hope you start with The Royal Baby He Must Claim, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you all for coming.
I love that. I love that. Jalasala, I've had an amazing time. Thank all of you for hanging out with us. And of course, boys and girls, once you read it, definitely leave a review. I know that this Jalasala James will be so appreciative of you guys leaving a review. Of course, like, tag, and share. Tell a friend about the Royal Baby He Must Claim so they can get them a copy as well. And again, thank you, Jalasala. Thank all of you for joining us today. And as I always say, boys and girls, have an amazing day because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye bye.